Hello, ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. Everyone keeps asking, how do you create the perfect life? How do you become successful, happy, balanced, all of it? And I want to be honest with you today. There is no magical morning when you will wake up and suddenly find everything in its place. Perfection is not waiting for you at the end of the road. It's something you choose to live now. You don't need a new year, a new job, a new relationship, or even a new city. What you need is a decision to begin again. Not because life has been kind, but because you have decided that you are done waiting for things to get easier. Let me tell you something from my own life. When I came to Mumbai with a suitcase full of dreams, I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have money or security. But I had one thing that even today I carry in my heart. I had a decision that I'm going to make it work. Not because I knew how, but because I refused to leave without trying with everything I had. That decision, that one moment of clarity changed everything. Not immediately, not magically, but gradually, consistently, powerfully. And listen, when I say a perfect life, I don't mean flawless, I don't mean spotless, shiny, Instagram filtered happiness. I mean a life that is true to you. A life where your mornings have meaning, where your struggles have purpose, where your wins are yours because you fought for them. You have to stop thinking that the perfect version of your life is waiting around the corner. Stop telling yourself, when I get this, then I'll be happy when I lose weight. When I get promoted, when I find someone who understands me, when I move out, when I finally feel ready. My friend, the truth is you're never going to feel ready. You are never going to feel like, yes, this is the perfect moment to reinvent myself. And that's why you must start anyway. Let me say this loud and clear, the decision to live fully is the first act of perfection. Not in results, not in outcomes, but in courage. The courage to say, this is who I am, and this is who I choose to become. That's it. That's where the new chapter begins. You see, people love to complicate success. They make it sound like a science you need to study or a code you need to crack. But here's my truth. Every time I achieved something I'm proud of, it started with me telling myself, this matters. I will show up no matter what. That's it. The world can't ignore someone who refuses to give up. They may not clap at first. They may not believe in you, but they will watch. And if you stay consistent enough, they will eventually respect you. And let me remind you, even when people were praising me, celebrating me, I still had doubts. I still had fears, because those don't disappear. You don't become perfect and then get permission to start. You start scared. You begin with the insecurities. You take action with the uncertainty. You make mistakes and then you learn. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it yours. But the real enemy is not fear. The real enemy is delay. It's the lie we tell ourselves that one day will be easier, that we'll be more confident later, that the universe will send us a sign. Well, here's your sign you're alive. You're breathing. That's enough to begin. People think they need a roadmap. They think they need clarity. But I've found that clarity only comes after you move, not before. You take one step, and then the next path reveals itself. Life isn't a GPS with a smooth voice telling you exactly where to go. It's more like walking through fog with a torch. You see the next few feet, and that's enough to keep going. That's enough to live with power. So ask yourself right now, what is one decision you've been delaying? What is one promise to yourself that you keep breaking? Don't tell me it's not the right time. Tell me you're scared. Tell me you're unsure. But don't tell me you're waiting for perfection. Because that doesn't exist. What does exist is the ability to change the direction of your life at any moment, in this moment. Not by changing the world, but by changing you. By saying, today, I take responsibility for what comes next. That's power. That's maturity. That's self-respect. And that's how the new chapter begins, not in fireworks, but in silence, in the quiet decision you make when no one's watching. That you will no longer betray yourself. That you will no longer settle. That you will no longer wait for the world to approve of your next step. You want a perfect life? Then start living it like it already belongs to you. Act like the person you want to become. Speak with the clarity of someone who knows their worth. Walk with the grace of someone who has already won. Not because the world gave them something, but because they gave themselves permission to rise. You are not here to survive. You are not here to repeat the same day 70 times and call it a life. You are here to create, to choose, to break the cycle. To live as if today is your only shot, because it might be. I'm not telling you this as someone who's figured it all out. I'm telling you this as someone who made a decision every single day to keep moving forward even when nothing made sense. And believe me, there were days when nothing made sense. But I still showed up. I still stood up. And that's why I'm still standing. So don't look for perfect conditions. Don't wait for everything to line up. Decide. Commit. Begin. Because the truth is, the perfect life you're searching for begins the moment you stop searching and start building. I want you to think for a moment. How much of your life is cluttered? Not just your physical space, but your mind, your emotions, your past. How much of what you carry with you today is actually weighing you down? We all have baggage. We all have wounds, regrets, and stories we tell ourselves about who we were, who we are, and who we should be. But here's the truth: you can't start a new chapter by carrying the old one with you. You can't hope for something fresh and exciting while dragging all that old weight around. It's like trying to run a race with a backpack full of bricks. It's not impossible, but it's so much harder than it needs to be. And here's the most important part: you are the one choosing to carry it. You are the one deciding every single day that your past is more important than your future. What do you need to do? You need to clean the slate. But let me make one thing clear. You don't just clean the surface. You don't just tidy up the visible parts of your life. I'm talking about cleaning deeply. Cleaning the things that have been hidden, the things that have been buried, the things that haunt you in the quietest corners of your heart. I know what you're thinking. It's too painful to confront my past. And you're right, it is painful. But here's the thing: pain is only a teacher if you allow it to teach you. You cannot move forward without letting go of what's holding you back. And sometimes what holds us back the most isn't failure. It's resentment. It's guilt. It's fear. The fear that we'll never be good enough. The fear that we're not worthy of a second chance. The guilt for things we wish we could change, but can't. But what if I told you that holding on to those things only makes you a prisoner of a past that doesn't exist anymore? What if I told you that you have the power to walk away from all of it? Not because you're running from it, but because you are choosing to release it. Releasing doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean denying. It doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. It means accepting that it's over. And that acceptance, it's the key to a new life. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. But if you want to live a life of fulfillment and peace, you must first clear your space. Internally, emotionally, and mentally. It's time to do the work, the deep work. And here's the beautiful parting: it's not about perfection. You don't have to become perfect. You don't have to be flawless to move forward. What you need is honesty. You need to look yourself in the mirror and ask, what's really holding me back? Maybe it's a past relationship. Maybe it's something that happened years ago, something that left a scar on your soul. Maybe it's a mistake you made that still haunts you. Or maybe it's just fear of the unknown. Whatever it is, it's time to clean it out. Not to forget, but to free yourself from its grip. You have to stop being afraid of your past. You have to stop being afraid of the things you've done or the things that have been done to you. You can't live a new life if you're still holding on to the old story. And this doesn't just apply to big, dramatic events. It applies to the small, quiet things too. The negative self-talk, the insecurity, the belief that you don't deserve more, the doubts that you're not enough, all of it. Clean it out. Let it go. Because here's the secret. When you finally let go of all the things you've been carrying, you make room for the most important thing: you. You make room for your own growth, your own success, your own potential. And this is where so many of us get stuck. We keep waiting for the world to change. We keep hoping for a miracle. But the miracle isn't outside of you. It's inside of you. The moment you decide to release the past and clean the slate, you've already started the process of transformation. But I'll tell you something else that's just as important. You don't have to do it alone. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get support. Sometimes the slate we're trying to clean is too heavy to lift on our own. But that doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. And it means you have the courage to admit that you need help. So don't be afraid to reach out, whether it's a mentor, a friend, a therapist, or someone who has been where you are. Sometimes all it takes is a little guidance, a little nudge to help you see that the slate can be wiped clean. And let me tell you, the results will be nothing short of magical. Once you start letting go, once you start cleaning out the mental, emotional, and spiritual clutter, you will feel lighter. You will feel free. You will feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. You will realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you want to live was your decision to stay attached to what no longer serves you. So here's what I want you to do today. Look inside yourself. Take a long, hard look at your life thoughts, your relationships, your habits. What is weighing you down? What is holding you back? Identify it, and then take action. Let go. Start the process of cleaning the slate. You don't need to do it all at once. But start today, because life doesn't wait. Opportunities don't wait. And you don't need to wait either. Start now. Clean that slate. Get rid of the things that have been tying you to a past that's not even yours anymore. Release it and make room for the life you truly deserve. You can do this. I believe in you. But more importantly, you need to believe in you. I want to ask you something. Do you know what your perfect life looks like? Have you ever taken a moment to truly think about what you want? Not what others expect from you, not what social media tells you is ideal, not what the world says you should have. Because here's the thing. So many of us are living someone else's idea of perfection. We're chasing someone else's dream, following someone else's path, all while ignoring our own hearts. But listen carefully, my friend, there is no one else like you. No one else with your story, your experiences, your strengths, and your weaknesses. And no one else can define your perfect life. Only you can. It's so easy to get caught up in what the world tells us we should want. You see the flashy cars, the designer clothes, the perfect families, the travel pictures, the constant hustle for more success. And suddenly you start believing that these things are the definition of a perfect life. You start measuring your own worth against the success stories you see online, and you wonder, why isn't my life as perfect as theirs? The truth is, you're measuring yourself against a false standard. A standard that has been created by others, not by you. You see, the world's version of perfect doesn't work for everyone. It's not universal. For some, the dream might be to climb the corporate ladder, to become famous, to own a mansion by the beach. But for others, perfection might be found in simplicity, a quiet home with people they love, a career they're passionate about, time to read, to reflect, to connect with themselves. There is no one-size-fits-all version of success or happiness. Your life is your canvas, and you are the artist who decides what masterpiece you're going to create. But here's where we often go wrong. We let the world shape our dreams, our goal vision. We let society tell us what we should be, how we should live, what we should want. And in the process, we lose touch with who we really are and what we truly value. We forget that true success isn't about what others think of us. It's about what we think of ourselves. It's about waking up every day with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that you're living in a way that's true to your soul, your passions, your purpose. So let me ask you again, what does your perfect life look like? Not the one you're supposed to have, not the one you think will impress your friends, but the one that resonates with you. The one that makes your heart sing with joy and satisfaction. The one that makes you feel alive, not because of what you have, but because of who you are becoming in the process. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that success or wealth or achievement are bad things. Of course, we all want to be successful in our own way. But here's the key, you need to define success on your terms. You need to find fulfillment in the journey, not just in the destination. Because here's the truth that no one tells you. Success without meaning is just noise. It's a hollow victory. You may climb the ladder, but if it's leaning against the wrong wall, you'll always feel empty at the top. When I first started my career in Bollywood, I didn't know where it would take me. I didn't know I would become the king of Bollywood, as they say. All I knew was that I wanted to tell stories. I wanted to be a part of something that moved people. But I never chased fame or fortune. I didn't define success based on how much money I could make or how many awards I could win. I defined success by how many hearts I could touch, how many lives I could make a little bit better. That was my perfect life. And even now, when I reflect on my journey, it's not the number of films I've done or the wealth I've accumulated that makes me proud. It's the connections, the love, the people who have been touched by my work. That's the success I truly wanted. And that's what makes my life perfect to me. Now, I'm not asking you to give up your dreams of financial freedom, career growth, or adventure, but I am asking you to take a step back and think about why you want those things. What does it mean to you? Does it come from a place of personal fulfillment, or is it simply the external pressure that has made you believe that's the only way to measure success? It's time to stop borrowing other people's definitions of what your life should look like. It's time to stop comparing your journey to someone else's. I know it's tempting. I know it's hard, especially when everyone around you seems to be ahead or doing better. But remember this, your journey is yours, and no one, absolutely no one, can walk it for you. You have to make a choice. You have to decide that the life you are creating is the life you want, not the life others think you should have. You have to embrace your uniqueness, your quirks, your passions. You have to own your path with pride, without feeling the need to explain it to anyone else. I know it's not always easy. We live in a world where we're constantly being told how we should look, what we should achieve, who we should be. But that's just noise. The only voice that matters is your own. So, block out the distractions, listen to your heart, and start designing a life that's perfect for you. Not for anyone else, not for Instagram, not for anyone's approval, but for you. Because at the end of the day, the only person who has to live with the choices you make is you. So make them count. Define your version of perfection and then build it with courage, with passion, and with the belief that you are worthy of it. You know, I've often met people who keep saying, someday, I'll do this someday, I'll be this someday, I'll achieve that. And there's something deeply troubling about that word someday. Because someday is an illusion. It's a dream that keeps getting pushed further and further into the future. And while we're waiting for someday, we forget that today is the only day we truly have. We forget that now is the only time we can control. Let me tell you something important. The world doesn't wait for someday. Life doesn't wait for someday. It keeps moving forward with or without you. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, you'll miss the precious moments that are happening right in front of you. I've seen it happen to so many people. They wait for the right conditions. They wait for their fears to go away. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect amount of money, the perfect approval from others. But I'm here to tell you, there will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment when everything lines up perfectly. Because life doesn't work that way. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of challenges. The perfect moment isn't coming. This is the perfect moment. The one you're living right now. And if you keep waiting for the future, you'll miss it. You see, so many of us are stuck in the trap of someday. We think that once we have enough experience, once we have the right resources, once we have the right people around us, that's when we'll take the first step. But the truth is, if you wait for someday, you might never get around to it. And then, years down the line, you'll look back and wonder, why didn't I do it then? Why did I keep putting it off? Here's the harsh truth. Someday is a lie we tell ourselves to make us feel better about our inaction. We tell ourselves that we'll do it later, that we'll make a change in the future. But by then, we've missed countless opportunities. And let me tell you, time doesn't wait. Doesn't care about your excuses or your delays. Time is going to move forward, and you can either move with it or be left behind. The reality is that the future is made in the present. The decisions you make right now, the actions you take today, are what shape your tomorrow. And if you keep postponing everything for someday, you'll look back one day and realize that someday never came. You can't build a life for yourself by waiting for the perfect moment to appear. You build it by acting right now. I've often said that life is about moments, not milestones. Don't wait for some distant event to define your happiness. Don't wait for that one day when everything aligns and you can say, now I'll start. No, start now. Do something today, no matter how small. Don't wait for the big dramatic change. Start with the little things, the small steps that will lead to bigger ones. Look, I've been where you are. I know what it feels like to sit back and think, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it when I'm ready. But the truth is, no one is ever ready. You think you'll be ready tomorrow, but tomorrow comes and goes and you're still not ready. The real secret to success, to fulfillment, to living the life you've always dreamed of, is to start before you're ready, to step into the unknown, to take that first leap, even when it feels terrifying. And here's the beautiful part, you don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need a clear map of the path ahead. You just need to take the first step. That's it. The rest will follow. Every great journey begins with a decision to move, and you have the power to make that decision now. You don't need permission to pursue your dreams. You don't need to wait for the world to give you approval. You are the one who decides when now is the right time. And the right time, my friends, is always now. Don't be afraid to start small. Don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way. The most important thing is to start, because every day you wait is a day you're not living fully. Every day you wait is a day you're giving up on your dreams. So, what are you waiting for? You know, people often tell me that they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of falling short, of not making it. But here's something I've learned, you will fail. I fail. Everyone fails. But what defines us isn't the failure, it's how we respond to it. It's how we get back up, how we keep going, how we use those failures as stepping stones to something greater. Every failure brings you one step closer to success, but only if you keep moving forward. So stop waiting for someday to come. The time to take action is now. The time to start living the life you've always wanted is right in front of you. Don't wait until you have all the answers. Don't wait until everything is perfect. And don't wait for someone else to give you permission. You are the author of your story, and the chapter you're in right now is the only one that matters. Make it count. Look at where you are today. Look at your life right now. If you're not where you want to be, ask yourself, what am I waiting for? What's stopping me? Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to act. It's the decision to start. And that decision, it's up to you. So today, right now, make the choice to start. Don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for the right moment. The right moment is this moment. Make the most of it. Live now, not later. Let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. What's stopping you from going after your dreams? What's holding you back from stepping into the life you've always imagined? I'll tell you what it is. The one thing that stops most of us from reaching our true potential: fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, fear of making mistakes, fear of not being good enough, fear of what others might think. These fears, they hold us hostage, don't they? They tie us down, put us in a box, and tell us, stay here, stay safe, don't go beyond this point. And most of the time we listen to that voice, don't we? We let fear dictate our decisions, our actions, and even our dreams. But what I want you to realize today is that fear is not your enemy. In fact, fear is your greatest ally if you learn how to work with it, not against it. Let me tell you something, fear is a natural part of life. If you're not scared, you're probably not growing, you're probably not challenging yourself, you're probably not living to your full potential. Every time I've taken a step into something unknown, something uncertain, I've felt fear. Every time I've done something that pushed me to my limits, I've felt that little voice inside me whisper, what if you fail? What if it doesn't work? What if they laugh at you? But here's the thing, fear is not a sign that you shouldn't go forward. Fear is simply a sign that you're about to step into a new territory, a place where growth happens, where magic happens, where real transformation begins. Fear is there to show you that you're on the right path. It's there to tell you that what you're doing matters. If you're not afraid, maybe you're just too comfortable. And comfort is the enemy of progress. Think about it, the most successful people, the ones who've achieved things beyond their wildest dreams, didn't get there by playing it safe. They didn't get there by avoiding fear. They got there by facing it, by embracing it, by using it as fuel to push forward. You see, every single step of my journey in this industry, every film I've taken, every role I've played, every moment of success and failure, it's all been a result of overcoming fear. The fear of being rejected, the fear of failing, the fear of not being accepted. But each time I felt that fear, I didn't let it stop me. I took it with me, embraced it, and used it to fuel my passion, to fuel my determination, to fuel my commitment. I've learned that fear is not a wall that you crash into. It's a door you need to walk through. It's an invitation to move forward. And that's the key. Don't avoid fear. Don't try to shut it out. Welcome it. Let it show you that you are pushing the boundaries, that you are taking risks. And here's the greatest secret. When you face fear, when you walk straight into it, you realize it doesn't have the power you thought it did. It's not as big and scary as it seems from the outside. It's just a feeling that will pass once you take action. And listen, there's another truth you need to accepting. Fear doesn't go away. You will never reach a point in your life where fear disappears. The difference is that over time, you'll learn how to deal with it. You'll learn how to take it in stride, how to keep moving forward despite it. You won't let fear control you. You'll learn to use it as a guide, a compass that points you in the direction of your true purpose. Let me give you an example from my own life. There were times when I was told, you'll never make it in Bollywood. There were times when I was rejected, laughed at, told that I wasn't the right fit. I was told I didn't have the looks, the charm, or the background to succeed. But I never let those voices stop me. I never let fear of failure stop me from chasing my dreams. Instead, I used that fear. I turned it into my fuel. I turned it into my drive to prove that I was worthy of a place in this industry. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't fail along the way. I failed many times. I made mistakes. I stumbled. I fell flat on my face. But here's the thing, every time I failed, I learned, I grew. I became stronger. I understood that failure isn't the end. It's just a part of the process. And it's that mindset, that ability to embrace uncertainty and failure, that turned me into who I am today. So, my friends, if you're waiting for the fear to go away before you take action, you're going to take forever. Fear is not the enemy. The real enemy is waiting. The real enemy is staying stuck in a place of comfort, never taking the leap, never chasing the unknown, never pushing your limits. The real enemy is inaction. Embrace the uncertainty. Embrace the fear. Walk through it. You'll be amazed at what happens when you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start acting despite your fear. You'll find that what once seemed impossible becomes possible. You'll find that you're capable of more than you ever thought. Remember, life is about taking risks. It's about embracing the unknown and trusting yourself to navigate through it. Fear will always be there, but it's your choice. Will you let it hold you back, or will you use it to propel you forward? Look, life is full of stories. Stories that we tell ourselves and stories that others tell about us. But what I want to talk about today is something that's at the core of who we are. Our past, we have one, every single one of us. Our past is what shapes us, what molds us, what makes us who we are today. But here's the thing, your past does not define you. It does not dictate who you are or who you can become. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. And most importantly, you are not the sum of the choices you made yesterday. I know many of you might be sitting there thinking, but you don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. And you're right. I don't know your story. But I do know this, you are not bound by it. You are not a prisoner of your past. No matter what has happened to you, no matter the mistakes you've made, no matter the wrong turns you've taken, none of that determines who you will become. Your past is just a chapter in your life, not the whole story. We all make mistakes. We all have regrets. We all have things we wish we could go back and change. I've had my share of failures, my share of moments where I thought, I'll never bounce back from this. I faced rejection, humiliation, loss. I've had times when I felt like the whole world was against me. But here's the thing, learning failure is not permanent. What matters is what you do with it. What matters is how you rise, how you choose to move forward, how you choose to take the lessons from your past and build something stronger, better, and more beautiful. We live in a world where we're constantly reminded of our shortcomings, our mistakes, and our failures. We get caught up in the narratives that others build for us. You're not good enough. You're too old to change. You're too far behind to catch up. These are all things people might say to you or about you. But I want you to remember something. The only person whose opinion truly matters is yours. It's your life. You are the one who has the power to rewrite your story. Your past does not have the final say, you do. I want you to think about the most successful people you know, the ones who have achieved greatness, who have made a lasting impact on the world. Do you think their journey was without setbacks? Do you think they came from some perfect, unbroken past? Of course not. Every single one of them has faced obstacles. Every one of them has made mistakes, stumbled, failed, and fallen down. But the difference is that they didn't let their past define them. They didn't let their failures become their identity. They used their struggles as stepping stones to rise higher. Look, my journey in this industry has been anything but easy. I wasn't born into a family of filmmakers or stars. I wasn't handed opportunities on a silver platter. I didn't have the perfect start. But I had a dream. I had a vision. And I didn't let the fact that I didn't come from a perfect background stop me. I didn't let the failures of my past, the rejections, the doubts, the criticisms hold me back. I used them as fuel to push forward. Every failure, every setback, was just a lesson. Every no became a yes to something better. I often hear people say, I'm not like you, Shah Rukh. I'm not a star. I don't have what it takes to be successful. But here's the truth. You don't need to be like anyone else. You don't need to have someone else's story. You just need to have your own. The power to change your life is within you. It always has been. And just because you've been down doesn't mean you can't rise. Just because you've stumbled doesn't mean you can't start over. Your future is waiting for you to take charge of it, to move beyond your past and to create a new beginning. The most important lesson I've learned is that no matter what has happened, no matter where you've been, you always have the power to change direction. You always have the power to rewrite the next chapter of your life. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how many mistakes you've made, or how many people have doubted you. What matters is that you decide right now that you will not be held back by the past, that you will not let your history be the thing that defines your future. I've met countless people who carry the weight of their past with them like a heavy chain around their ankles. They live in regret, they live in fear, and they feel as though they're not worth of success because of what's happened to them before. But let me tell you something, you are worthy of success. You are worthy of happiness. You are worthy of a bright future regardless of the struggle faced or the mistakes you've made. The past is gone. It's over. What you do from this point forward is what matters. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the person you were yesterday. You are the person you choose to be today. And you have the power to decide right now to start a new chapter. You can choose to let go of the fear, the shame, the guilt, the regret, and embrace the future with open arms. You have the ability to create the life you want, regardless of what's happened before. So I ask you today, what's holding you back? What is it from your past that you're letting define you? What will you choose to do differently from this moment on? The power to change your life is in your hands. Don't wait for someone else to tell you that you're ready. You've always been ready. Now step forward. Create the life you deserve. Create the future that's waiting for you. Your past is not your prison. It's just a stepping stone to something greater. Embrace it, learn from it, and then move beyond it.